Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And AI is coming for your jerbs.
And your boobs.
And your boobs. Yeah, we're going to talk about how e-girls are apparently going to be replaced by AI as well. This is pretty interesting. This is an AI-generated model, and the non-existent model, we should call her Jem. She makes
she's pink hair too.
She kind of looks like Jem. Yeah, she makes $11,000 a month, but she doesn't actually exist. She's not real, so you can't believe anything you see anymore online. You can't even believe that we're actually cartoon characters.
No, we're not.
We're not. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants. Guys, you get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Yeah, those woohoos are free, unlike OnlyFans or Twitch or whatever other platform these girls use to get people to pay for their time. And yeah, so this is, what's her name? Aitana Lopez, but she's not real. Aitana Lopez is a model made through an AI image generator, according to Niche Gamer. They got it from the New York Post. We'll go into that article here in a second. But an AI image generator and has a realistic style that makes her look similar to a real woman. 25-year-old woman was created by a Spanish designer. And
usually a dude.
Usually a dude, yeah, Ruben Cruz.
See, here's what I have a problem with this is, okay, as a woman, it's already hard enough to find work, and now they're going to take that away. But I'm more worried about kids because since they've started to be able to digitally alter photos and magazines and stuff, we've seen a huge uptick in body image issues with girls, especially. I would say boys too, but mostly with girls. And they get the press, and they're unattainable things because they're not real. They're CG'd, real people, but they're not. They're CG'd and altered into ways that you cannot look that way, no matter what you do, because it's not possible. So they have unrealistic expectations what they're supposed to look like, and now you have artificially created women who are quote unquote perfect, and you're not even going to be able to compete with them ever because there's no way in hell anybody looks like that. So it's like I'm worried about how that's going to impact, kids. Even if it's disclosed that they're AI, it's still going to be a lot of pressure because you're never going to look what they want you to look like. And it makes girls feel like they have to live up to a standard that they never can actually achieve.
I'm worried about all those Twitch streamers that might have a job.
Yeah, soon, that's true.
They can't sell their overpriced cookies anymore. I don't know, among other things. So this is the reason the guy gave for creating her. Money, obviously. We did it so that we can make a better living and not be dependent on other people who have egos, who have manias, or who just want to make a lot of money by posing.
Basically, we made up a woman because, women actually, want to get paid. And they might think that they're all that in the bag of chips because they're pretty, but we don't want to deal with that. So we just make up fake women so we don't have to pay real ones.
Oh my God. So here's the original article. This comes from the New York Post. Aitana.
Did people tell? Is it disclosed right off the bat that
I don't know.
When they do it, that she's not real?
Somebody tried to ask her out, I guess. They said this team from this AI agency meticulously curates Aitana in her life with the help of Photoshop, deciding what she'll do, where she'll go, and which content to post, all without the hassle of working with human creators.
So we don't have to share the money. I'm going to correct it without, what and its life, deciding where it will go.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, look.
Well, there you can tell her she's not real from the face on that one.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though, right? We talk about AI, and we talk about why news websites, newspapers have long since disappeared. Why websites are replacing journalists, and why more studios are looking at maybe replacing actors or writers or animators or whatever. And it does come down to the human component. It's a double-edged sword, right? People love humanity, and they love that touch that a human brings to a project, but they're also difficult to work with because pesky emotions.
Well, no, not just that.
Pesky
you want
payment.
Paid.
You want paid.
We want to make a woman instead of actually finding an actual real woman to give a real job to so that we can take all the money.
So she's amassed an Instagram following of 132,000 people, and Cruz and his team can now charge up to $1,000 for an advertisement featuring her image.
So, but if they can make a fake woman, who says they can't make fake Instagram likes?
That is true. That is very true.
If it means you get more money.
This fake woman could have fake followers.
I'm just saying.
Her boobs are definitely fake. She's definitely had work done. Get this. Fans also fork out money for sultry images of the busty bot on the subscription-based platform FanView, an OnlyFans rival that has a lot of profiles featuring AI models. So apparently, people are paying money to see naked pics of fake women. This is the world we live in. Like, yeah. I mean, just try to wrap your head around this.
So if you have these dudes that are all like, up, on this fake women stuff, and they're all like, I deserve a woman that looks like that. You're never going to find a woman that looks like that. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's unrealistic the whole way around. And then it's going to be hard on a lot of people.
She's so real that high-profile celebrities slide into her DMs, not realizing she's computer made. One day, a well-known Latin American actor texted to ask her out. He had no idea she didn't exist. What a letdown. Especially if you're sending dick pics or something. Like, hey, yeah,
they're probably AI too, to be fair.
yeah, right. It's like, honest, it's this big. No, but you're sending texts or whatever to this fake woman, and it's some dude on the other end working for an ad agency getting these texts. Like, oh my God.
I'm sure it's been happening.
So now they've received an influx of requests from brands who want their own AI models. Again, you don't have to deal with people's idiosyncrasies, and you don't have to deal with paying them either.
Well, so I'd argue like what's real and what's not, but we already know that these brands are, digitally altering images of real women. So, I mean, none of it's real anyway.
None of it's real. Well, that's true. Actually, didn't they try to like mimic a Disney lifestyler one time? And they're like, oh, here's me on my, expensive trip or whatever. And it was all like,
it was all Photoshopped because they wanted to prove they could do it.
They wanted to prove they could do it. Yep. So she looks like she works out a lot. So the agency's models pander to societal beauty norms, which have been criticized for promoting unrealistic body standards and hypersexualizing women. Now you have to pay extra for that.
The hypersexualizing thing, I'm not too, whatever. If a woman wants to portray herself that way, that's her choice. But the unrealistic body standards, I do know as a mom and a teacher and someone who's been around since, this stuff was really starting. Well, it was before me, but it got really bad, like in the 80s and 90s and stuff like that. And especially when they could start digitally altering things. There really is an impact. People are going to be like, yeah, no, there is. I can tell you for a fact there is. I think as long as they disclose that they're AI so that that there's no way you could be like that for real, I don't think there's much of a problem then as long as they let people know for sure up front, but still.
The first two letters of her name.
Is AI.
It tells you.
Right.
But yeah, so Cruz, the creator, pimp, is he like a pimp? Is he like an AI pimp?
Apparently.
Her pimp says, if we don't follow the aesthetic, brands won't be interested. To change the system, you have to change the vision of the brands. The world in general is sexualized.
That is true, as long as they're not underage. Looking like they're underage.
Well, they said that the tech is being used to generate inappropriate images of underage girls, cheat in schoolwork, create scarily realistic deepfakes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, guys. There we go. This is the world we live in. Basically, more and more, whether it's this or, commercials or whatever, social media posts, you're not going to be able to believe what you see.
But again, we're taking jobs away from real people. But I also understand some of these influencers are really, really, really entitled assholes. So I can kind of understand why you would want to cut them out. I really, truly do. I'm more concerned about the impact on kids, but that's just me.
That could go so many places. I was just thinking, you can pay extra to see her asshole, but that's a whole nother.
What?
I'm sure it's perfect. It's practically.
I'm sure it is.
It's practically perfect in every way.
Societal norms of beauty for what looks asshole pretty, I guess. Oh my God.
It's like ChatGPT.
You can't believe anything anymore.
You can't believe anything. I mean, we're living in a world where unless it's like in meat space, you're not going to be able to believe it. And even then, like how long until technology, like we're all living in like a holographic world basically. And the imagery is so good that you don't know what to think about anything. They
just want you to think. Just give your money.
That's just it. But I mean, it's kind of sad though too that these journalists complain about being replaced by AI, and it's like, well, if you were producing content that couldn't be duplicated or replicated easily, you'd be fine. And it's the same with a lot of these e-girls. Like if you were producing content that couldn't be replicated, if you just have to
But
be,
it's all replicatable. That's the thing.
yeah, that's it. Everything is.
So your only option is if you're doing, manual labor type work that, you need to be there until they replace you with machines. It's like you have to be in person for. Then you're not getting, you're basically a pay pig at that point. You're not making the money that the big jobs, unless you're a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. The jobs that pay a lot are like involving entertainment. And if it's all generated, then that leaves you with working at McDonald's. And it's like, so people aren't, or whatever, something much less lower in pay. And then the people that have the money get to keep the money.
Yeah.
And you're enabling it and letting it happen because you're like letting them do this and supporting it. But I don't know. You do you. I'm just saying this is a concerning issue.
Well, you can't do her. She's not real. It doesn't matter how much you pay.
She can't hug you back.
She can't hug you back. But most of these girls don't anyway. So who are we kidding? They'll just take your money. It's a one-way relationship. Are we gonna wrap this up? Mm-hmm. I think we need to wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.